since the Denver Broncos 2015 Super Bowl championship with Peyton Manning at the quarterback position, they have 1, failed to make a playoff appearance since that championship, and 2, they have not solved that quarterback situation ever since. So we go into 2021 with the Broncos having yet another quarterback competition on their hands between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, who they traded for before draft night. Who should be the Denver Broncos starting quarterback heading into week 1 of this 2020 NFL season? But before we talk about that quarterback situation, make sure you guys leave this video a like. That helps this channel to grow. And click that subscribe button and notification bell so you would not miss a single video that I post. But let's talk about these Denver Broncos. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Before we dive into the quarterback competition between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, let's dive a little bit into the Denver Broncos offseason. This offseason seen this Denver Broncos franchise go defensive heavy yet again. We're retaining guys on team options like Von Miller and Kareem Jackson. They franchised Justin Simmons and ended up bringing him back on a 4-year contract extension. And in free agency, we seen them grab more corners, as in Ronald Darby from the Washington football team and Kyle Fuller from the Chicago Bears. This defense last year was a very solid defense, and they added more depth to that defense. One glaring hole that lingered last year for the Denver Broncos was the quarterback position, and that quarterback position became so bad that due to the virus, they ended up having to start a wide receiver at quarterback. So one glaring hole coming into this offseason was quarterback. Despite trading for Teddy Bridgewater before draft night, you would have thought at that number 8 overall pick, with Justin Fields and Mac Jones still available on the board and falling to them, the Broncos would have selected a quarterback. But instead, they added more defensive pieces and more cornerback help with drafted Patrick Surtain II at that number 8 overall pick. Now, Patrick Surtain II is a very solid player. He has potential to be one of the better corners in the NFL. But when you look at this Denver Broncos roster, it was mind-boggling and head-scratching why they did not go after a quarterback in Justin Fields. Because I think if Justin Fields was brought onto this football team, it would have had them at a better position for their future versus a quarterback competition between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. So even still, with both of those guys still on the roster, in the future, the Denver Broncos are going to have to address that quarterback situation in the draft or in free agency next year. Because I don't see Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater lasting past this season. Circling back to the Denver Broncos quarterback situation now, let's dive into the incumbent quarterback in Drew Lock, who they drafted in the 2nd round of the 2019 NFL Draft. Throughout his career, he's had some hits and he's had some misses. He has some struggles and he's had some games where he showed promise that he could be the Broncos quarterback going forward. But when you actually watch Drew Lock in the eye test, there is something about him that is missing. His decision making is not necessarily the best. He trusts his arm maybe just a little bit too much to make throws that are not necessarily there. He has promise. You can see the potential there. You can see room where he can grow. But over his last 2 seasons as him being the starter, he has not solidified that Denver Broncos quarterback position with his inconsistent play and poor decision making at times. You see the arm talent, you see the arm strength. He has a little bit of mobility as well, but he has shown potential for him to be not that great of a quarterback, which is why I believe, in my opinion, that they traded for Teddy Bridgewater to, 1, give Drew Lock that competition that he needs to help push his game forward, and 2, just in case things do not work out, they have that veteran behind them who's had some experience. They have that veteran that can really step into this offense and lead them going forward. Because when you look at this Denver Broncos roster now, as far as the talent goes on offense, especially at the wide receiver position with a returning Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler, and Jerry Jeudy, along with Noah Fant at the tight end position, they have the weapons to be a very explosive passing offense. So Drew Lock has the arm talent to really push this offense forward, but he has to improve his decision making, and he has to improve his accuracy on his throws. Now let's switch the focus to the guy that they brought in via trade before the NFL draft, and that will be Teddy Bridgewater. To me, Teddy Bridgewater is a big mystery throughout the NFL because, number one, we all watch Teddy Bridgewater and we know he can be a good starting quarterback in his league, but for whatever reason, he has been from team to team over the past couple of years, spending time with the Jets, with the Saints, last year with the Carolina Panthers, and now he is on the Denver Broncos. His career has taken a different turn ever since that knee injury that he suffered in 2016, but Teddy Bridgewater has still proven that he could be a very quality starting quarterback in his league. The differences between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock is that Teddy Bridgewater does not turn the football over as much as Drew Lock, but also Teddy Bridgewater does not push the ball down the field like a Drew Lock does. Teddy Bridgewater has a high completion percentage because he takes a lot of those short routes. When he doesn't see things deep, he makes sure to get that completion short. Despite the Denver Broncos' talent on the roster with Cortland Sutton, Hamler, and Dewey that really have good speed, and they are receivers that can really get open down the field, Noah Fant will turn into his security blanket, especially with him being a quarterback that does not push the ball very deep down the field. At this point in Teddy Bridgewater's career, I can see a comparison between him and Alex Smith, where he comes in, he beats the leader, he comes in and he has that veteran experience. He's been there and done that in the NFL, but he just doesn't have the same talent that he once had when he was drafted into the league. And I think a knee injury like he suffered took a lot of that talent away from him. Now, he's still able to come in and be very productive in the offense. He's still able to come in and complete a lot of his passes. He still has some of that mobility, which got him drafted in the first round in the first place. But when you look at Teddy Bridgewater now, he's not the same quarterback that he was, let's say, in 2015 when he was with the Minnesota Vikings. But he does bring value to this Denver Broncos organization and this Denver Broncos offense if he was named the starting quarterback. But the differences between him and Lock is that Lock has a little bit more arm strength and a little bit more arm talent. Bridgewater has better decision making. Lock is a little bit younger and still has room to grow. And Teddy Bridgewater at this stage of his career now is a guy that what you're going to see is what you're going to get. But in my opinion, if the Denver Broncos want to be a playoff quality team, which they have the roster to be, with that defense that I think can really elevate with bringing in Ronald Darby and Kyle Fuller, you have a healthy Von Miller with Bradley Chubb and also Justin Simmons. So that defense is going to be a top 10 defense led by Vic Fangio, and you have the weapons on the offensive side of the ball that can really make this team very, very good. I think the quarterback that you have to start is going to be Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is a guy that's not going to turn the football over. He's a guy that's going to move the ball down the field. He's a guy that's going to make good decisions. Despite Drew Lock having the arm talent, the Denver Broncos need a guy that won't turn the football over and keep that defense off the field. That defense needs to be fresh so they can unleash Von Miller and they can unleash Bradley Chubb in the pass rush with the good secondary that they have. So I think the best option for Denver to go to in this 2021 season and to have them right there fighting for a playoff spot would be Teddy Bridgewater. Now, of course, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the guy going forward, so they're going to have to address the quarterback situation this next offseason. But as far as this 2021 season goes, the Broncos should start Teddy Bridgewater. But that is all I have for you guys. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts down below. Who do you think should be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos? Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater? Or do you think a trade could possibly happen with another quarterback? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to continue this conversation going forward. Make sure you guys are clicking that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can help this channel to grow. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.